but we also have to consider that there's like a lot of space not being used, so that could potentially come down to like moving the tables for the people doing the hand movement, restaging it, so that the space is more filled, or having moments where there is movement but it's at certain points, so it's not like constant something going on in the background.
I mean, I think another problem we've had this week is, I mean, like, not everyone always being in is quite hard as well, because when we tried to do some of the movements, we tried to just do scene 2 over a couple of days, and then people aren't in one day, they then don't come in, then they come in and they say, oh, why wasn't I in this, or what are we doing now, and then you have to spend more time then going over something to then realise actually it doesn't work anyway, so you're kind of wasting a lot of time having to go over things because people weren't there, and it just like, we've got a limited amount of time as we have. We need to be focusing and cracking on, not going backwards.
I think some problems we faced was with scene 2, just like staging, because the way that the people talking is set out, it blocks behind them, so you can't have movement behind them. So you have to have all this like movement that we made, and there's quite a lot of people doing movement in this one little section, and it just sort of throws some space away, and it's like pointless, I guess. I don't know.
How do you think we can solve these problems, and what are you going to take forward next week? Well, continuing on from our points, as a company moving forward, we need to be in, and we also need to be committed and focused. So we're getting to a point where if an idea is becoming frustrating because it's not working, we could have no time to trial and error. It's at the point where we now need to just get things on its feet, and devise. So keep working at an idea. If it completely doesn't work, scrap it. Continue. Don't try and push an idea that it doesn't work. And
I think you could try like restaging some scenes as well, just to see if it works in a different way. If it doesn't, then like Anna said, just scrap it.
Or finding different ways that movement such could link in a different way, like maybe redoing some of the movements such so there's a bit more of a link, or a link either between the text or actually between all the people in the background, so it's not just okay, I'm going to do some movement here, then okay, we're going to do some more here. It all has to have some sort of link to it.
Like tweak a few sections. Individually and as a company, what is your strengths and weaknesses of this week?
Me start. I think a strength this week for myself was when we watched the videos with Gavin, I could note down what I liked and disliked, and what I didn't want our piece to end up like, and what I liked about a certain piece, and talking about it with the rest of the group as to like how we don't want it to look. So we don't want it to look so like basic and GCSE level, and just having movement for movement's sake. I think a weakness for myself was maybe in the scene with Kaylee, I didn't really have a lot of energy, and I need to focus down more and give more of a character towards that scene. A strength as a company would be that we all came up with movement for scene 2 in early class, and it was good movement, so we could like fit it whilst directing it into the scene when Leanne was working with the text. And a weakness is just that we need to like come in more and focus down more so we can get it done.
I think a strength individually was, like you said, I felt like I could watch other companies' interpretations and like pick out exactly what worked and what didn't work, but in a very like analytical way. So it wasn't just, oh, I don't like it, I could justify why. I think a strength of the company this week was that everyone knew what the task was and did get on with it. So we had a lot of material to choose from, which is a first, because normally we are like blocked with a lot of work. So we had more to choose from this week. A weakness I think it was that I was becoming frustrated with the fact that we're not making progress, which I need to understand because with devising it's a very slow, tedious process. But for someone who's really like wanting to get drive this show, it's frustrating when people don't have that same like attitude towards learning. So that's something as a weakness as a company we need to collaboratively work on.
So I think a strength personally was that I could use other people's work and suggestions to draw inspiration for my own ideas within either the things that we're doing now or previous things, or even looking back and thinking actually we could change this now so it doesn't look so GCSE as such, and help develop it better. But I think a weakness for me was that I wasn't very helpful in the dance trio thing, because dance really isn't my thing, so I kind of left you for that. So maybe I could be a little bit more input in that bit. But I think as a company, a strength was, although we're not that focused all the time, we going off into the separate groups, we did actually manage to cover a lot more scenes than we had previously, because we were so behind and thinking we're not actually going to get it done, that although it's taken a bit longer, we have actually got a basis for everything.
Yeah.
But I think a strength was, weakness, sorry, is that we need to actually be more open to people's ideas and suggestions and not just point blank go, no, this is what we want to do, we're not changing it. As a company, we need to sort that out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers.